Hello, unstoppable real estate investors. I'm Realestateinvestor, and with me is the lovely Daisy Ixcot, and she is my member that I am spotlighting in our podcast today. And I'm so glad you accepted the invitation, Daisy.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. So I just want to start with, we do a podcast for top 5%ers, the rock stars in the industry, on Wednesdays at noon in my group, noon Eastern. We do a member spotlight on Fridays at noon, and Daisy's a member in our group and a newer investor. We show both sides of the story, the people who have made it and the people who are up and coming. We also have a Monday mindset and marketing meeting with me and Rufus Thibodeau at 6 p.m. on Mondays. So I'm glad you could join us in our group, Unstoppable Real Estate Investor. After this, we'll post this recording in about 100 other real estate investment groups so people can get to know Daisy. Daisy, welcome so much. I'm so glad you could join us today.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask you and just start out with, what were you doing before you got into real estate investing?
Well, we have a cleaning business, and so that's how we got into business. So we've been doing cleaning since 2018, me and my husband together. And that's what we're doing right before we decided to get into real estate.
And yeah, it says in your bio a little bit about that. So talk about, why you have this successful, cleaning business, because you guys worked hard at that and you got successful at that. And I apologize, everyone, for the glare on my glasses. I've got to get, next time I upgrade my prescription, I'm going to have to get glare-free glasses because everything reflects in them. Talk about what that transition was like, because that can be uncomfortable, when you're shifting gears. So talk about the transition from running that and automating it, because you still have that business,
Yes,
right?
I do. Yes.
Yeah, and then moving into real estate. Talk about that journey.
Yes, well, we were doing so really good in our cleaning business. So we had some money saved, and we're like, we need to invest in something different, that it's not the same thing. Because of COVID hit, we're like, we need to put our, like they say, that your eggs in different baskets, because you never know if something comes down wrong in one area, at least you have the other one. So that's when we're like, what should we invest on, or what should we do, a different business? And my husband was always telling me, oh, I wish I could know how you could flip houses and do all that. And I was like, yeah, but that sounds very complicated. And to be honest, like, I am a little bit more of the scared person than my husband. So he's the one pushing me, like, let's give it a try. And I remember looking through Facebook and everything and Google, trying to get information. But of course, there's like a lot to know what's true, what's not.
Yeah, right.
And finding someone to actually talk to you about their experience or how they do it, it was sort of hard too, because people sometimes they don't want to talk about the bad and the good of every single thing. And so when I was looking into Facebook, suddenly the 3-day workshop that Fortune Builders give came out, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. That's exactly what we're just talking about. And I ended up signing in for that. And I went for the 3-day workshop. It was mind blowing. I was like, this is exactly what I need.
Did your husband go with you?
No, he didn't. I went by myself.
That's so strange, because he's the one who wanted to do it.
Yes,
right?
but he was taking care of other stuff with our other business. And I was like,
dividing and conquering. Good.
And he's like, I know that if you go and you like it, you're going to tell me all the details. And he just wanted me to be motivated and give the step, because he was ready.
He was being very strategic.
Yes. And then that's whenever I went to the 3-day workshop. And on the second day, I was like, this is something I really need, because my cleaning business, I started it without knowing nothing about business. And there was ups and downs and everything. And I learned a lot. And I don't say that I'm not having that in real estate right now, but I wanted to have someone to show me at least the most possible so I could learn it before I even give the step, because I was scared of giving the step. It's more money invested, more stuff in it than a cleaning business. So I really wanted to be more cautious of those situations. So I really liked everything that they presented that day. And I came home and I talked to my husband all about it. And I was like, if you really want to go into it, let's do it with help, not just by ourselves, because we're not going to be able to do it. And I don't want to mess this up. And he was like, yes, yes. He was so excited that I finally got on the boat. And I was like, if I do it with this, then yes. If not, I won't invest money
So
without not knowing.
I just want to welcome, do you remember Ammon Brimhall
Oh, hi,
from
welcome.
Fortune Builders? Yeah.
Or
He's doing his own thing now, but he's joining us. Ken Sykes Jr., another very experienced investor. Hey, Ken, and Angel Mercado, one of my Fortune Builders clients. And
oh,
so, when did you guys join Fortune Builders?
we joined in November 2020. So
Oh, wow,
yeah.
boy, what a time! Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and
the first workshop back because of
yeah,
COVID.
there was a lot of fear in 2020, but 2021 ended up being a really good year to be in the business. And then
Yes.
last year was a little bit fickle. That's when things started to change a little bit. So talk a little bit about your experience, like what you've done so far, where you're at, and how it's going.
Well, yes. Well, at first I started doing all my curriculum. While I was doing the curriculum, I was looking for offers. I was putting in offers, and by July 2021, we got our first home, and my husband did almost all the rehab. We were like, oh, he knows
Himself.
a lot about like fixing houses and everything. So he
Yeah,
was
and
like,
that's not such a bad way to go on your first one, because when you get in there, if you have, like your husband had, the skills or the desire, you learn a lot. You just don't want to continue to do it that way because
yes,
it's just
no,
not as
exactly.
Did he have fun doing that first
Yes,
one?
and he saw the value of certain things that are very hard. So that way we knew that if a contractor comes and tells us, oh, I charge this much, we already know the value, how hard it is. So we will know that his price is like, it's his value, he knows how to
Fair,
do the job.
right.
So it's fair. And so that helped us a lot, knowing exactly like what to expect and what you could do and what you can do. And so it gave us a lot of experience through that house, learning more as a contractor side. And my husband enjoyed it. He was stressed sometimes, but he did enjoy it and he loves it. And it was hard for him to accept the idea that we need to hire general contractors or hire contractors to do the job. We did really good on our first house. It went good, and he finished it.
How'd you do? How long did it take? And did you make a profit on your first
Yes.
rehab?
It took him 3 months, probably 3 months and a half to
No,
get it all
not
done.
bad.
Yes, and he just had help on the weekends. So it was all mostly all him. He did a great job. The house, my agent, when he saw the house, he's like, are you like a very experienced painter and stuff? And he's like, no, this is my first my first painting job. And he did it wonderful. He's very he likes quality a lot. He takes care of his quality.
Yes, high
Like every
standards.
single inch matters. Every single thing matters. So he is very picky. So he was very picky with
So
himself.
how'd you guys do on that first one?
We did good. We made around 30,000 on that one for it to be our
Nice.
house. Yeah.
Nice. All right. And
Yes.
then, how long was it for you when you guys joined Fortune Builders and you started learning? How long was it for you before you put your first one under contract?
We got in November 2020, so it was July 2021. So what, 6-7 months?
Yeah, but good for you. That's great. So you learned and you took action. You got into your first rehab. You got that in July. So if you were doing it for 3.5 months, August, September, October, mid-November, you sold it and you cashed out on your first one for the year.
Yes. By the time I sold my first one, I already had my second one under rehab.
Okay, I was going to ask you. And how about wholesaling, or have you guys just been focusing on rehab?
No, here in Oklahoma, they have the law that you have to be a realtor to be a wholesaler. So right whenever I started doing this, they were doing the new law. So it was like
the new law is just that you can't do a standard wholesale. You can wholesale in any state. You buy it, you double close, then you turn around and sell it, and that's legal anyway.
Yeah, so I was like more into, I just want to flip a house. I really wanted to.
Okay, So that's it.
I really didn't look into
Okay.
doing any wholesaling. I do want to start doing that now, but at first I was like, I'm very, very wanting to do the flipping part first.
Okay. So, let's go back a little bit because you're the cautious one, you're the fearful one, your husband's the one who wants to go. That's a very good combination in a partnership because he gets you out of your comfort zone to get out there and try new things, but you're the one that keeps his feet on the ground and you're dotting the I's and crossing the T's and making sure he doesn't drive you guys off a cliff, right?
Yes, exactly. Mhm.
Yeah, that's a good part.
That's how it works in both of our business.
So how did the second rehab go? Are you guys done with that? Or are you
Yes, we
already?
sold it in May. Yeah, so that one I told him let's try doing it with the contractor so you could see if you think that we make the same amount of money in it, you having not to do nothing to it, it's very worth it. Like your time is worth it, and of course we manage the other company as well.
Unless he enjoys doing some of the work.
Yeah, and it was hard for him because he was like, he really looks into he's remodeling my house right now.
Oh, okay. And
he needs to keep himself busy.
So is he project managing jobs, even if you do? So how did it go with
we hire a general contractor on the second one.
And how did that go?
It went good. There were some things that I didn't really like, and there was bad and good, I guess.
All right.
But at the end of the day, yes.
Don't be shy or ashamed. Tell us what was good and what was bad. Let's start with what were the advantages to having a contractor do the job instead of your husband? Let's start there.
The advantages were that he had more time to help me look for other properties and build our business more, do more networking because we had more time. And when he was doing the first house, he was there like 24/7 all the time. And I had to do a lot of runs to Home Depot and all that. So on this house, we really didn't have to do none of that. So that was the good part. And that second house it went smoother than our other houses that I will talk about. But the thing is that like my husband, he's very picky. So he saw a lot of mistakes, a lot of things that were not done properly. And you will expect for someone that has the experience more than my husband to do a better job in certain things like texture, painting, a lot of different things. And so he was not too happy about it, but the house looked good.
Well, did he go in there and ask the contractor to fix it?
Yes, he did. And they would just tell us, well, you're just flipping houses. Why would you care about it if it's not your house? And when they gave me that answer, I was like, oh,
yeah,
I care.
This is a good point that I want to bring up to people. The contractor works for you.
Yes.
You can't let them push you off to compromise on the quality of work. They're working for you. You're paying them. You can't let them intimidate you and try and talk jargon and intimidate you for them to do lesser quality work. That being said, your husband having such high standards can also be an issue when you're rehabbing homes because, JD talks about this in the rehabbing boot camp, is it necessary? Will it add value? Will it help sell the property? And I always forget. And is it cost effective?
Yes.
So if you have a perfectionist who wants the highest standard with everything, that's not necessarily what you're doing when you rehab a house.
Yes, exactly.
You want to be proud of it. You want to do a good job. So what do you want to say about that?
Yes, that's exactly sometimes what I have to tell him that, okay, so, that's fine. It looks good. Like I don't see those kind of things, but he does. He has a better eye on that. And that's what I tell him. We need to see more about if it adds value and all that before we even care too much about it.
So is he like more the project manager and overseeing GCs who are doing jobs for you guys right now to make sure there is quality?
Yes, he's the one in charge more on that side of our business. On both.
So you did your second rehab.
Yeah. So
what were the things you liked? What didn't you like about working with a contractor?
Well, that sometimes even though you make it as clear as possible, they don't listen, or they just make it sound like, oh, you cannot do it like that, or we cannot do it like that. And there's a lot of no's, no's, no's. And you're like, well, that's why I'm paying you and I'm asking you how much you're charging me for to do what I want you to do. But then they were just telling us like, oh, they were just change the plans and the way it was easier for them and not how we wanted it. But at the end of the day, that house.
How did you deal with that?
Well, the contractor has a very, very good way of convincing. So it was like, it was hard for me to tell him.
So you guys surrendered to the contract?
Yes, and we really did. Like we felt like, well, he had more control than we did because he made it sound like he was the experience and we weren't. So it was hard.
Will you use that contractor again?
No, I did make the mistake that the first few months that he was working on our second project, he was doing wonderful and he was listening to us, and we felt like we were a team, and that he was working good for us. So I hired him for my third rehab. So by the time he started acting like this and we were starting seeing the way he was treating us, he already was working on both of our rehabs. So that's why, but now I will not hire him again.
Work on a fourth?
No.
Okay. Now, are you in process on the third, or have you guys sold the second and third ones?
Yes, we sold the first and the second. The second one, it was a good profit. It was when the market was very hot, so I did really good on that one. That house ended up being a very nice house. And then we have a third and a fourth. The third one, they're both in the market right now, and like, you know how the market shift now, they've been in the market for a little bit longer than I expected it.
How long have they been on the market so far?
Well, my third one been in the market for 2 months.
Okay.
The first one, it's been a month, but like the other
Okay.
houses, they were like 1 week,
Yeah,
one day.
it's not just because the market shift. This tends to be a slower time of year. So just that's okay.
Yes.
We get spoiled in a seller's market where things are flying off the market in a week. But in a really normal kind of real estate market, for a property to be on market for 2, 3, 4 months, it's kind of normal. It's just we're not used to that.
Yeah.
And you're paying finance costs and things like that. So, you get a little spoiled. And that's why it's tricky in the market right now to be having bought a property and analyzing it in that market. And then by the time you've rehabbed it and you sell it, it's a different market.
Yes.
So doing rehabs right now is a little dangerous. You have to really kind of know your market and know what's going on in your market so that so the ARV is correct, so that you end up making a profit. So you've done 4 rehabs.
Yes.
And you've made profit on the first 2, and it's to be determined on the second 2. Now what?
Well, right now we felt like the past 2 months we were like very slow on the way that we were like discouraged because of how our last 2 went. And so we were not like very active. So now that's like starting this year, we were like, we need to get back on track. We were doing really good. We don't have to just not one project make it be our worst. Like we need to continue.
Yeah, and you don't have to come from a place of desperation like, oh my God, it's just sit back and see what the market's doing and you adjust. And so do you think that because of that, you'll look at other exit strategies like wholesaling, or do you guys do you want to start acquiring passive income rentals, or tell me your plans for 2023?
Yeah, so we were thinking on our third rehab, if it doesn't sell probably here in a month, we're gonna do the exit strategy to just keep it as our first rental. It's in a good rental area, so I think that will do a good plan B, I guess. And then I'm also wanting to learn more about Airbnbs. Like my fourth rehab, it's a very good house, and it's in an area that Airbnbs will be great as well. So that will be my exit strategy with that one.
So do you understand this concept of BRRRR? You buy,
Mhm.
rehab, refinance, get
Uh-huh.
out of the hard money and private money loans,
Yes.
and then you rent. So
Yes.
you might do that with both the third and fourth properties?
Yes, I'm already working on the refinance. I already talked to my lender and everything, just in case. We're just giving it this month for the third rehab. If it doesn't sell, then we have everything ready just to go through the rehab process. I mean, the
Oh.
refinance.
Well, look at you guys go. And what would you say has been the biggest challenge as newer investors? You've been into this coming up on 2 years. What's been the biggest? Coming up on.
Yes.
When did you join? When in 2020?
November 2020. So
November of 2020.
Yeah, 2 years.
So it's been a little over 2 years. What would you say has been the biggest challenge in the business in general for you and your husband?
Having time to market and find deals.
Okay. Tell me what's the challenge there?
Well, sometimes time,
You
like
guys
right-
are just busy.
yes, because like I run my other business and I run this one. Sometimes I get busy, try with the other stuff. And so now I am in the position that I feel like I do need help with cold calling. I am not,
Okay.
I feel
Do
like
you
I'll
want
block
help
myself
with
with
that? Because I work with Start Virtual. I work with them, and that is a service we do. We actually set up marketing, like a team to do lead generation for you with VAs.
okay.
So if you'd like, we can go off the interview and we can schedule a time to talk, and I can tell you a little bit about that service, because you'll manage them. You'll have to put some time into working with that team and building them up, just like you had to with the house cleaning business.
Yes.
But then now your lead generation and looking for the next deal isn't suffering because you guys are too busy.
Yes.
Is that of
I think
interest
that will
to you?
work perfect. That's
Okay.
something.
All right. Once we get off here, I'll shoot you a DM and we'll get something on the books for next week, and I'll talk to you about how that service works.
Okay.
All
Yeah.
right, look at that, folks. Delegate to elevate. They've
Mhm.
reached a point in their business where they're successful enough that they need to scale now and build a team to do some of the marketing for them. That is a step of success there. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's great. And what would you say what's your husband's name?
Marcos.
Marcos.
Uh-huh.
What would you say Marcos's biggest challenges have been? The lack of quality of work with the
Yes.
GC? Yeah,
Not to be extremely picky.
yeah.
Yes, I think that's it. He's very motivated. He likes it.
Yeah, and I love the ability for you mentally to pivot on these last two projects you've done and consider doing the BRRRR, your buy, refi, renovate, refinance, and rent. But it is nice if you can sell one of them and get a little chunk of change. But
Yes.
talk about what the focus is now for 2023 for you guys and going forward. What are your goals this year?
Yes, we would like to try to flip 4 to 5 houses and of course start our rental portfolio. Probably get 2 or 3 on our portfolio this year. And if one of these houses that I have in the market ends up being the first one, then that's good for us too.
So you want to get a couple of rentals in your portfolio
Yes.
this year, and you want to do 4 or 5 rehabs this year.
Yes. Mhm.
Okay. And is there anything that you're needing in the business? Let's talk about the funding of these projects.
Yes, I would like to connect
Because
with
people watching, and I want to pause and say hi to everybody who's joined us, but there are people watching that's where they get stuck is funding.
funding.
Okay, so I want to talk about that, but first I want to say hi to Angel Mercado, Sevelin Smith. Hey, Sevelin. Rose Lopez has joined us. Cynthia Ware is with us. Ken Sykes and Ammon Brimhall. So thanks everybody for joining us. And everybody's been quite chatty. Ken's said, great decision. Hello, my friend. You have been a great advantage. Hello, Daisy and Rayana from Sevelin. Angel and Ken are just saying nice and great. Cynthia Ware said, yes, Daisy, it's a great blessing to have a general contractor help and to be the general contractor yourself with excellence. Sevelin's like, wow, 330,000 on your first rehab. That's wonderful. Ken's just saying not a bad strategy. Cynthia's saying hi. Sevelin's saying creatively JV with the investor who enjoys flipping. Angel saying, yes, it's tough when there's no team. They're just saying hi to each other. Sevelin saying smart to outsource. And, you know, and that. So we've got a lot of engagement. People are interested in what you're saying. So let's talk about like how you've been funding these deals.
Well, our first deal was from a wholesaler as well. We had two from wholesalers. One was from a contractor and the other one was from my realtor.
Okay, so you've pretty much done no marketing. People have brought you deals.
Yes.
Well, aren't you lucky? You know, when something like that happens, I really believe that you're meant to be doing this business when it just comes that easily. It's just a good sign. So talk about how you funded them.
I made a relationship with the bank here, and they fund our four of the four houses that we have.
And what were their terms? How did they fund? Because typically a conventional lender won't lend on rehab. So what kind of loan were you getting from them?
Well, it's a commercial loan. They let me borrow it for 12 months. I just pay interest. I don't give nothing to the price of the house. I just give the interest, and they let me
sell the property. You pay them back.
They let me borrow 80% of the costs in general, like the purchase price and the rehab, based on their appraisal, of course, as well. But the appraisal goes based on how the house will look after it's been rehabbed. So
yeah, after repair value. And then where did you get the other 20%?
Well, like we have our other business. So my other business is
you guys did your own.
So I am being my own private lender to my other business for now.
And have you guys separated them legally? So your cleaning business LLC loaned your rehab business alone as a private money. Did you pay that business a percentage?
Yes, we're doing all that with our CPA. Like he told us how to do it whenever I let my other company borrow money. So that's how we've been managing the 20% and just like the holding cost as well. So my cleaning business is like the mom of my real estate business.
The first business is the mommy business to the second business. That's cute. Like that.
Yes, but I would like to connect with whoever wants to do private money lending. And
because there's going to come a point where you're going to want to expand past 4 or 5 at a time in a year, and you know, so you want to get that private money lender credibility packet created, that presentation created, and get comfortable going outside of your bank and your business to start networking with other investors and start building up, you know, private money lender resources so you can do bigger projects.
Yes, exactly.
Where do you guys see this business going? Like, we've got the goals for this year. What's your long-term vision?
Well, I do vision myself having that passive income coming in every year and being able to retire, even though that we just work from home, and for our businesses that we don't have a 40-hour job or nothing like that. We just manage both of our business, but still like be able to have more time.
And what does that look like? Do you see yourself investing in multifamily units?
Yes. I would
Okay.
love to learn more about investing in multifamily and of course like commercial as well.
Okay. All right. Well, let me ask you, um, as you look back over the last couple of years and you look at what you've done as a real estate investor and where you came from, this one where it was your husband wanted to do that and you were too afraid. How do you feel about how the last couple of years have gone for you?
Well, I feel good because now we have two things to focus on, like both of them, and one gives them passive income and the other one it's like more in chunks, but will be the one that helps us retire, of course. And I'm glad that I listened to him. I'm glad that I was like looking into it, and I know like Facebook listens to you, and that popped out right after we had a conversation. That
That's
like,
synchronistic, isn't it?
yeah. I was like, oh, is this a sign?
Yeah,
So I'm
that
glad
is,
that I took that sign.
yeah, that's neat. So, if you were standing up on a rooftop and you had a captive audience and you could give them advice that they would really hear and heed and take away, what would that advice be for, say, newer investors?
Mm. Well, if you don't try it, you will never know if it would have worked. And it's better to try and not always be every single year be like, oh, I wish I would have started last year. So just start now.
Yeah, just start now. Just take action. Is
Yes.
there anything else, any question I didn't ask, or anything else that you want to say before we wrap up?
Well, that even though that you do get like if somebody teaches you how to do this, or you get a like fortune builders and stuff like that, not just go through the curriculum, just put it to work, because if you don't put it to work, you're not going to learn anything, because you could learn the basics but you won't live the
Yeah, so
project.
you're saying learn and take action. Learn
Yes.
and take action, and that it's the taking action that helps you learn
Yes,
what
because it's
you're
a
learning.
different whole story. Whenever you're taking action, you learn more stuff and you meet people and you see different faces of different people.
So let me ask you, you said at the beginning of the journey, you were just like, no way, and I'm the cautious one and I'm the fearful one. Talk about you dealing with your fear in this process. What was that like? And how did you deal with your fear and move forward in spite of your fear?
Well, feeling comfortable knowing that I was gonna at least learn, that I was gonna have help learning the process at first, because I really didn't knew nothing about how do they look for properties. How I didn't knew nothing. So getting through the curriculum helped me a lot, feel more confident, being able to go with someone and be able to feel more confident in knowing that I learn at least most of it, even though that most of it has become with my action. I think that if I would have not had the curriculum, I would have not been able to, like, I needed help. I needed someone to help me answer my questions, and because I'm a question person, so I had a lot of questions.
Yeah, yeah. So just having a process, a system, a program, something that kind of mapped things out for you, quelled the fear a bit. And
Yes.
knowing that you had people there to help and ask questions.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I am so impressed with you and pleasant and just surprised. Like, congratulations on not letting fear hold you back
Yes.
and going for it anyway. And what has that done for you as a person on a personal level, your self-confidence and just how you feel about yourself going from that place where you were really afraid to what you guys have accomplished?
Well, it has helped me feel more motivated. Like I feel like I know that if I put something in me and I try it, I know I'm gonna get to it. As long as I try my best to do it. And not letting it fear, because I feel like I need to let go of that fear. I just need to know that if I try it, it might work and it will be probably the change of my life or something. And I don't want to let it go. I don't want to miss that moment that I should have done the things that I want to do.
Yeah. All right. I love it. Well, congratulations on all your success. And I have no doubt you guys are going to achieve your goals this year. And I'm thrilled that we got to connect a little bit.
Yes.
And I'll reach out to you after the podcast, and we can set up a time next week to chat about helping you guys set up a lead generation team of VAs to get that going for you.
Yes, that would be so helpful, because I was actually like, sometimes I will be thinking, should I just hire an assistant or something? Because like I need to manage the other one with having a lot of employees and payroll and all that.
Yeah,
And
we can provide an admin assistant VA and also cold caller and even a lead manager VA for you.
yeah, that will help a lot because I have a lot in my hands.
Okay, good. Well, I'll reach out to you then. Hey, everybody, happy Friday the 13th. Thank you so much, Daisy. You are a delight and a very courageous woman, and I hope I get to meet your husband sometime. He sounds like a guy I'd really enjoy meeting. Let's stay in touch. Reach out if you need anything. I'm here, and I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day of running 2 businesses to spend time with us, sharing your secrets to your success. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody. See you on Monday with Rufus and me for Mindset and Marketing Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern in this group. And then next Wednesday, I believe Amy Majori is our guest in our Wednesday podcast. And then next Friday, we will have Rachel Exo in as our guest. And I love Rachel. Yay. So everybody, the podcast, we just have some great guests. We're booked through the end of March. We're starting to book speakers for April. If anybody knows of someone, a member spotlight, someone up and coming, that would be a great person to give a little visibility and exposure to on Fridays, please reach out to me in the comments or in a DM, and we'd love to schedule them. If you know of some real estate investors, mentors, trainers, coaches that are rock stars and they're just uberly successful, please put their name in the ring too for me, and we'll reach out to them and invite them as a guest. If you're struggling with your mindset and your marketing, join Rufus Thibodeau and I on Mondays at 6 p.m. That's a weekly thing we're doing now, mindset and marketing. Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Daisy.